Welcome to this explainer. Today we're unpacking the Arabic word for that, and we're going to see how just this one single word unlocks some incredibly fundamental sentence structures. If you've ever wondered how Arabic builds distance and physical space directly into its grammar, well, you're in the exact right place. So let's dive right in.
Here's our quick roadmap for today. We'll start by introducing that in Arabic, then compare this and that, look at some really cool spelling and pronunciation quirks, move on to asking who and what, and finally, wrap up with some essential new vocabulary.
All right, Section 1, introducing that in Arabic. So our very first building block is the Arabic word dhalika, which literally just means that. And honestly, exactly like in English, it's your absolute go-to tool for pointing out things at a distance. Imagine you see an object or a person way over there and you want to draw someone's attention to them. Dhalika is the word you're going to reach for. It's what we call a demonstrative pronoun, and getting comfortable with it is going to immediately, and I mean literally immediately, expand the kinds of sentences you can build.
Moving on to Section 2, comparing this and that.
Now notice how this new word works in tandem with the word for this to create some really clear spatial contrasts. Take a look here. We've got a horse representing this, meaning something right up close, while a donkey is positioned for that, meaning it's further away. The grammar actually directly compares them in a single sentence to map out that distance. And we see the exact same pattern repeated with the sugar being up close and the milk set further back. It's just such an effective trick to map out physical space using language.
Okay, on to Section 3, spelling and pronunciation quirks.
This is where things get super interesting. Let's look at a really fascinating spelling quirk that honestly trips up a lot of beginners. Look closely at the written form of dhalika. Now, when you say it, you loudly pronounce a long A sound right after that first letter. You say dhalika. But here's the catch. The word is actually written completely without the vertical aleph character that normally represents that long A sound. It's almost like Arabic's version of invisible ink. This is just one of those special exceptions you have to commit to memory. But once you know it's there, it makes reading the word incredibly satisfying.
Our sources also highlight another fantastic quirk, and this one's all about conjunctions. Think about the English word and. It's a standalone word, right? It gets its own comfy little space in a sentence. But the Arabic word for and, which is pronounced wa, isn't left floating out there on its own. Instead, it's written closely attached to the word immediately following it. It essentially visually hugs the next word. This actually changes the entire physical rhythm of how you read a sentence from right to left.
Let's keep rolling with Section 4, asking who and what.
So, with those structural rules safely in our pocket, let's put dhalika into action. If you want to ask about an inanimate object off in the distance, you simply pair dhalika with the question word ma, which means what? Ma dhalika. What is that? It's a beautifully simple, incredibly concise two-word question.
For example, let's say you're pointing far up into the night sky. You would say, that is a star. Honestly, the sheer distance of a star makes it the absolute perfect noun for practicing dhalika.
But wait, what happens if we're asking about a person instead of an object? Well, we can't use ma anymore. We have to swap out what for who, using the word man instead. So min dhalika gives us who is that.
Let's build this out into a slightly more complex comparison. Imagine a teacher is standing right close to the blackboard, but an imam is standing further away, in the distance. This sentence perfectly captures that whole scene. هذا مدرس وذلك imam. This is a teacher and that is an imam. And hey, remember that little attached wa we talked about earlier? Notice how it connects the two clauses perfectly right here, comparing the person nearby with the person far away.
And finally, Section 5, essential new vocabulary. To finish up our explainer today, let's lock in a set of foundational words that pair beautifully with our new demonstrative pronoun. We have iman for stone, sukar for sugar, and laban for milk. Seriously, taking just a quick moment to commit these to memory is going to make practicing your sentence structures a whole lot easier.
So putting it all together, you can really see how this and that bring these standalone vocabulary words to life in full dynamic sentences. Whether it's a stone on the ground right next to you or a cup of milk across the table, you now have the exact grammatical tools to point them out, define their distance from you, and ask questions about them.
I want to leave you with a final thought to ponder today. What invisible rules are hiding in plain sight? The next time you look at a sentence in Arabic, I want you to ask yourself,
what's visibly present and what invisible quirks, like that hidden aleph in Thalika, are secretly shaping the language behind the scenes. Keep looking closely, because the structure of this language is truly a work of art. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I hope this helps you master the space around you.